Hi, my name is Nick, aka the Coffee Detective, and today we're going to have a look at this rather handsome coffee grinder. It's the Breville Dose-Control Pro. Now, I already have a perfectly good coffee grinder, so I was a little, I was wondering what this might offer more than what I already have with my Espresso Infinity grinder, which has worked for me for years. So I've been trying this for a few days now, and I must admit I kind of like it. The beans, as always, go in the top here. It has it's a conical burr grinder with steel wheels, burrs in there, so it grinds very consistently. I've found, like I said, I've been using it for about a week now. It has an amazing range of, you set the coarseness or fineness of the grind here. So you can go all the way from like Turkish coffee at one end to, how do they describe it up here, to if you're using French press pot at the other end. You can actually fiddle about even more by taking the burr out. There is some even finer adjustments you can make. So you got terrific range there that you can experiment with. This little doodad in the middle here is a timer, and you set the time for how long you want the grinder to go. So this is the interesting part. With my other grinder, I'd kind of guess exactly how much I wanted. With this one, what I found is that it takes a little bit of fiddling around, but after a while, for your brewer and your taste, your personal taste, you're going to find exactly the right setting up here for the coarseness of the grind. And then again, with a little experimentation, you're going to find exactly the right amount of time to run the grinder, so you get exactly the right amount of coffee in your filter. So if you have a flat bottom filter, you can just stick it right in there and you can start grinding, and it grinds straight in there. My machine, I use a Breville brewer. It doesn't have a flat bottom filter, it has one of these ones. So I actually just put the whole thing in like that. For me, if I'm brewing for my drip brewer, I found that the setting I use up here is at 42, and I run it for 15 seconds, and that makes exactly the right amount of coffee for my drip brewer each morning, which is great because, like I say, it took a couple of days to fiddle around to get it exactly how I wanted it, but now I'm kind of set for good, and I don't have to think about it. I can just get up in the morning. I've put this in the night before. I just press that button, wait for 15 seconds, and then take this over to the brewer, and I get started. So I love that. Now, the other part of this that I like is the fact that I have an espresso machine. I make an espresso, cappuccino, whatever, for myself and my wife most days. Around the middle of the morning we treat ourselves. And in fact, my previous grinders, I've tried a few over the years, I was never totally happy with the grind, because when you get down to a fine grind like for espresso, that's where the kind of quality and consistency of the grind really reveals itself. So, nice thing here. If I want to do espresso, I put this like little collar here. There are two sizes for big portafilters and smaller ones. My one is smaller. I just tuck that in there, and I got a different set of settings now. For espresso, for the grind, I go all the way back to about 12, and I do the setting for 10. Again, it's taken me a few tries to figure out exactly what those settings are for me. And it's going to vary. It's going to vary according to the espresso machine you use. It's going to vary according to your own personal taste. So yeah, play around a bit, find exactly the right kind of grind and the exact number of seconds you need to fill your portafilter. You'll find that when it's fresh ground, it kind of mounds up a bit in the middle, so you just use you tamp it down. But it's the combination, I think, of the conical burr grinder, amazing range of different grind sizes, and the fact that once I've got those numbers, once I've on the collar here, once I've found the exact grind I want, and I know exactly how many seconds to grind, whether I'm making for my drip brew or for my espresso machine, once that's done, this is like a dream. It's because all I ever have to do is just press the button. I'm set. I mean, if I'm switching from drip brew to espresso, I'm going to change the setting here on the grind. But you know, very simple, very sturdy. Love the fact that I can get the exact same dose every single time, and that I think is the key for me, is the consistency of the grind and the dose every single time. Because I find drip brewing a little more forgiving. I find espresso making very unforgiving. If you have the grind a bit wrong, if you have the slight, you know, you don't have the dose just right, it can ruin a good espresso. So that's it. I'm a convert, I'm a fan. I'm now using the Breville Dose-Control Pro. Thank you, I hope you found that useful.